6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. Happy Wednesday to you. Look at all these beautiful pictures I just see of everybody's faces over. Man, John Hart's looking good. John Hart's looking good. Jackie got on video. Bethany's driving. Jackie's driving. There's John Hart. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Good morning to everybody. If you can come on video, we want to see your smiling faces, even though a lot of beautiful smiles on these profile pictures that we got going on here. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning to you all. My name's Coach Brock Zevan, life coach, business coach, real estate coach, and a DAD. And it is a soccer day for me. We got both soccers. It is just nonstop today, but I'm excited. I love it. I working on my note cards. I told it to you yesterday, all making bread, banana bread. Gotta do 80 note cards, and do it. Gotta do 5 a day. So I'm working on my note cards today. Very excited, but I'm even more excited. Not because of the hat Jim is wearing, but because Kat is on here and Jim Morris is here all. And what I love about Jim Morris is this guy brings, that's where I came up with Tactical Tuesday, Jim, was behind the scenes. I was like, he's going to bring some tactics. He's going to bring some strategies. He's going to bring something today for you to walk away with. Yes, this is a mindset show. Yes, it's all about motivation. But I was listening to Jacko this morning, Jim, when I was on my run. And honestly, I didn't want to run today. My legs are killing me for whatever reason. And this is the line he said. This is what he said to me, Jim. He says, the older you get, the less you use of it, the faster it goes. And when you get older, you don't want to do what you do. And the motivation can only last so long. It's the discipline behind it for you to do what it is that you're supposed to do. And many times it's like, well, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to do. I don't know what I don't know. And that's why I came up with Tactical Tuesday. And then I was just like, well, Jim's coming in on Wednesday, so I got to bring my A game. And so, brother, you always got something. It's been great having you on the show a lot more. Very excited and thankful to have you being one of the main contributors of Nashville. Some of you bought tickets yesterday for Nashville. Some of you I need to reach out to because I know you're itching to go to Nashville. If you're itching to go to Nashville and you're not too sure, put Nashville in the chat. And if you're going, put 10 in the chat. If you're going to it, put a 10 in the chat. If you're thinking about it, put Nashville in the chat because Jim is going to be there. He's one of our main presenters. He's helping me along with this. Him and I are partnering together. But man, I'm excited to have you in our family and in our world here. So good morning to you, brother. Good morning to you.
Good morning. What an intro, everybody. Let's go. Thank you, Brock. Thank you. I'm excited as always to talk to this amazing group of people. And I'm gonna bring the heat today, if that's all right, Brock. If that's okay.
I love it. I turn the oven on.
Cranking it up, baby. Cranking it up. All right. So first and foremost, again, thanks for allowing me to pour into on this community of people who are here looking to get better every single day. One of the things that I did in my Impact Effect Accelerator this past week for my group has really been talking about this word attention.
Hey, Jim, not to interrupt you, but could you put that link in the chat so people can listen to your show in the morning? Because you show in the morning too. Put that link in the chat. Just like me, I was just like, oh, what time's your show? What do you got? I like to listen into that. So maybe it's an opportunity for somebody. So put it in the chat so somebody can listen to you and Rachel.
So this training that I'm gonna do, it comes out of a different program. It's called the Impact Effect Accelerator. The Impact Effect Accelerator is a program that I run. I'd put all my trainings that I do in there, and I work with the group of people that are inside that program and community. So, for instance, if Danny, if John, if Jackie, if Rosario, if Denier, if Stephanie have a problem, then we go and we build training around it. So it's very centric to the members. It's not so much Jim Morris coming in and saying, hey, I'm going to teach you this week and that next week. So that's what I do on a weekly basis. I also have a morning show. It's called Rise and Energize. We talk about energy gains and energy drains. So that's me kind of just being extremely real, extremely vulnerable. I talk very openly about the things that are giving me gains in my energy. I talk openly about the things that are giving me drains. A majority of that is poor systems that drain me, or tough clients, or broken processes. But ultimately, it's really revolving around people, right? I believe people are power. And when there's amazing people in my life, amazing things happen. And when there's people that aren't in alignment or aren't congruent with what I want to do, how I want to show up, and how I want to treat people, that's what ultimately gives me the drains. So we talk a lot about that. That's on Facebook, free, all that. The accelerator program is paid. Check out the website. Let me know. Let's jump on a call. Let's see if we can help you. But today, we're talking about the motivational mindset show, and I want to get into some tactical stuff around attention, being online, what your presence looks like in your emails, whatever systems you're using. How are you gaining attention? And how are you keeping attention consistent so you can grow your business, enhance opportunities, and ultimately get to where you want to go in this lovely thing we call life? So I've got a bold question. Bold is one of my core values. So I'm going to come right out and I'm going to ask everybody, what is your mindset around attention? And I believe that attention is the new currency. So what does that actually mean? It means to me, and what I believe is your presence, your visibility is going to be your currency. And this world we're in, this digital world, is moving faster and faster and faster, and it's relentless. It's not going to let up. So if you don't have visibility, if you're not focusing on visibility and attention as your currency, I believe you're going to have a very hard time marketing your business, growing and scaling to the level you wish and want and know you can. So if attention is currency, whether that's, emails you're sending to people, communicating with them, calling them, whether that's social media posts, whether that's YouTube training videos, however you're getting out there and marketing your brand or your business, right? That's what I'm going to talk about today, is that level of attention that you're bringing in to you, your personal brand, or your business, or both. Right? I believe they're quite similar. I just think there's different strategies on your personal brand and your business brand. But my real bold question today for everybody is, if you believe, and I would highly suggest you believe this, I've done a lot of research. I've talked to a lot of people about this attention thing, and visibility in your business. If you believe that this is the new currency, my question to you is, how much are you worth right now? If attention is the new currency, visibility is the new currency, how much are you worth right now? And my next question for everybody, and this one hit me pretty hard when I was self-reflecting on this, is, if you believe that attention is the new currency, are you underpaid right now? Are you underpaid? So let me give you an example of why I believe attention is the new currency. I have consulted with 2 businesses in the last 3 months that are in the real estate world, and they do real estate media and photography. 2 of my one-on-one clients that I consult and coach with. 2 businesses, both fairly, very intelligent folks running them. Okay. Same services, same products, very similar branding, different name, right? So one company X, one company Y, almost everything's identical. They both have a personal assistant, they both have one photographer, videographer, and they run the business. So same employee structure, same, almost same branding, just a different name. I started working with one company. A couple of weeks later, I started working with a different company. They're in different states. They don't compete. I always make sure, right? I don't want to work with two different people that are main competitors. And one company started doing the things we talked about when we did an attention audit. And I'm going to tell you what an attention audit is in today's training. It's going to be one of those tactical things that you could do today, right when we hang up. You can do as I'm talking about it. It's very simple. It's a quick audit of the attention that you're bringing to you and your business. So I've got these two businesses. I've got X here and Y here. They're both real estate media companies. I start working with both of them. One company, the first one I started working with, we went through the same thing. Hey, let's raise your attention. Let's raise your visibility. Let's work on your marketing. What are you doing? Where are you showing up? How are you showing up? When are you showing up? What platforms? Do you have a big email list? Are you more on social media? How are you getting leads, right? Go through all my stuff, and we start working on building attention. 3 weeks later, I start with this other company. Very similar. Hey, Jim, I want to double my revenue. I'm doing 280,000. I want to do about 600, a little under 600. I want to double it. Okay. I said, great. Let's run this visibility program. I see gaps. I see opportunity. There's areas for gain here, improvement. This is great. Let's do this. I start with that company. The first company didn't take this visibility concept and really believe that attention is the new currency. So we started to do things, and they started to implement a little bit by a little bit. That company that I started three and a half weeks later with consulting, we did the same exact plan, and within 3 weeks, that person did the things, took the action, took the audit seriously, started pushing out content, started working on their email list because that was a great place for visibility, and started to do this thing I call natural way of life. And I'll explain natural way of life here in a second. So as I'm doing this and I'm working with these two companies, two very similar, one person started to increase their attention and take it serious. The other person didn't. The person that I started with, who had 3 more weeks, was still staggering in minimal revenue, while we 27, I'm not joking, folks, 27x'd their monthly revenue based on building their attention. This is why I believe that attention is the new currency. And let me be the first person to shout from the mountaintops that I'm not talking about you becoming an influencer. Okay. I'm not talking about you going out and getting brand partnerships and creating content to be a thought leader and to be this, guru of information. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking to you as a business owner who needs to create more visibility to bring in more opportunity. And when I say currency, folks, I'm not just talking about revenue here. Okay. Your visibility increases, your opportunities increase. Your wallet definitely will increase, but your opportunities will increase. Your relationships will increase. Okay. When I started putting out more content, when I started building out structured emails and sending an email every week to my list and focusing on human connection, and this was the time that Brock and I started collaborating more, and he was coming to Nashville a couple of years ago, and we were doing stuff together. Like, that's when I started to increase my visibility, and the relationships increased, right? The people that I met, the podcasts that I went on, the opportunities that came, being flown out to go speak to someone in California and then to Texas, not because I said, hey, I'm Jim Morris, I want speaking gigs, all because I just had more visibility. People could find me easier, okay? So when I say this stuff, I'm not talking about, you need to go become an influencer. You need to go put out 35 pieces of content every day. What I'm saying is, honestly, look yourself in the mirror today or in this beautiful camera on your laptop or your cell phone, um, and ask yourself, are you underpaid? Are you company A, who's absolutely amazing, doing all the right things, takes care of their customers, follows up with them? If you're in real estate, overdoes it, make sure they understand the home inspection, they get it priced out, you have all the solutions, all the vendors for them, you're introducing them to someone else you sold a house to in the neighborhood, right? Like all those things that you're doing could be absolutely amazing, and you could be an absolute freaking rock star. But if you have no attention to what you're doing and people don't know what you're doing, you're going to be a broke rock star. And I didn't say broken, right? Because the wonderful words of Brock Zevan is broke is a season, right? But you will be broke. If you don't have attention, it is going to be very hard for you to gain opportunity, to gain and build on momentum, and ultimately put yourself in a position where leads, opportunities, relationships, they come in. They come to you because you're doing that output. You're showing up. You're being visible. So I think that makes sense, everybody. Can you put something in the chat, whether it's an emoji, a 10, a 7? Just give me something if that makes sense, if you're tracking what I'm saying, if you understand this level of attention that I'm talking about. All right, we got a woo, we got a smiley, we got a make sense, we got a 10. All right, cool. Brock, I got to get on your level. You're always like 7 if it's this and 5 if it's this. And I'm like, man, he's got it scripted. He's rocking and rolling, baby.
Let me just tell you, the numbers of going in the chat has become my like little resume on things, and yeah, I don't even know where I come up with it really. I don't even make up numbers. John Hart likes it when I do them. Right, John Hart. John Hart likes that.
So again, as we dive back in, I really want you to write this down. Are you underpaid? If attention is a currency, are you underpaid? I want to light a little fire right here because you guys are rock stars. You're here early in the morning. It's 7:30 here in Nashville, Tennessee. It's probably 8:30 on the East Coast. You're here. You're pouring into yourself. You're educating. You're making connections. Be company, the second company that I talked about, right? Take this stuff serious. Just bring in a little bit more visibility. All right, so we're going to do an audit real quick. I call this the attention audit. Yes, Nicole, we will get you a recording of this. I hope everybody watches it, but take out your pens, take out your piece of paper, take out your notepad, in your notes in your phone. This is the attention audit that we're going to go over today. The first audit is visibility. Where are you currently showing up? I want you to write that down. What's your best platform? Is that email marketing where you're most visible? Are you putting an email out every Friday? Are you putting 2 out every week? Are you putting 1 out a month, a newsletter? Is it working? Like, is that where you're showing up? Email. Is it social media? I don't want you guys to write down social media. I want you to write down Facebook. I want you to write down YouTube. I want you to write down Facebook groups. Let's get very strategic and very specific here. If you are crushing it in Facebook groups or you're spending time promoting or connecting with people, that's where you're showing up. That's where your attention is. That's where your attention goes. I want you to be very strategic. Are you writing blogs? I was talking to someone inside Impact Effect Accelerator, and they're like, I spend a majority of my time writing blogs and I drop my links, and that's how I get leads. I'm like, that's freaking amazing. That's great understanding of where your attention's going. I don't know about you, but for me, it takes 6 hours to write a blog. I hope it doesn't take them 6 hours. Is it TikTok? Is it events? Is that where you're getting your visibility? For me, Jim Morris, the most visibility I get is at events. I put on events. I speak at events. It's my number one opportunity for visibility. I want you to write down your top 2. Top 2. Is it Facebook? Is it email? Is it events? Is it blogs? Are you writing for Forbes? Are you networking? Like whatever those 2 are, write them down. Now, the second part of the audit is consistency. Are you sticking to the plan? Are you showing up as much as you promised yourself? I want you to score this 1 to 5. 5 being, yes, you are sticking to the plan. You're crushing it. Everything is great. You're killing it. 1 being, I said I was going to post on Facebook 3 times a week and I haven't posted in 2 weeks. Or I said I was going to send out that monthly newsletter and dang, I didn't last month. Or I said I'd do a Friday email and I skipped 2 weeks ago, right? Maybe that's a 3. But I really want you to rate this. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, and this is consistency. Are you sticking to the plan? All right, number 3, engagement. Rating this 1 to 5. The question I'm going to ask you is, do people interact with me? And kicker here, very important. Lean in, listen up, folks. Are you responding? Engagement isn't one way, okay? If you take anything from this training around social media, engagement is not one way, okay? So are people engaging with you? Are they interacting with you? And are you responding? Two-way street, just like the telephone, right? I used to tell my buddy back in the day, hey, brother, cell phone work both ways. Why am I always checking in with you, man? I haven't heard from you. The phone works 2 ways, right? So same with engagement. I'd like for you to rate yourself 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being great. Around are you interacting with people and are you responding? And then this last one is the conversion, right? Are we converting? Rate yourself 1 to 5. And the question I want to ask you is, do I turn attention into opportunities, relationships, sales, or partnerships? Conversion. It's not all about money. We love money. Money's great. Money allows us to do great things. Money allows us to work with charities and to donate and pay our tithe and, you know, all those things and raise amazing families and help others in need, right? But score yourself considering opportunities, sales, as well as partnerships. If you did not score 20 or above, I really want you to lean into the next 10 minutes about what I'm going to say. Okay? If you did score 20 or above, I guarantee you there's something that is going to be beneficial for you in the next 10 minutes as well. So add them up. Sorry. I messed that up. It's 15. We're scoring 15. Sorry. So we're scoring 1 to 5 on consistency, 1 to 5 on engagement, and 1 to 5 on conversion. The first thing we did on visibility was just identifying our top 2 platforms to gain attention. So if you scored a 12 or higher, you're in a great place. If you scored a 12 or below a 12, we got some work to do. Let's get it right now. Cool. All right. So I'm going to give you some strategies real quick on how to enhance this and how to engage higher, how to get more content out and get more visible. So the first thing, if we're talking about social media, we're talking about email, we're talking about any communication, which is typically visibility, you have to have an amazing hook. Okay? That's the first thing I want to talk about. You need to get people's attention within the first 3 seconds. You've probably heard this if you watch anything around marketing or social media on YouTube. You've got 3 seconds or less to grab someone's attention. You need to be bold, you need to be direct, and you need to stop them from scrolling. So if you are posting something on Facebook and you don't sit down and think about a hook, how to hook them within the first 3 seconds, the first thing you write, or the text overlay on the video, or the text overlay on the photo, or on your B-roll, if you aren't focusing on a hook, you are not focusing on attention. I just got to shoot you straight. I got to be direct with that. Okay. I've put out so many videos. I think I put out 300 videos on YouTube before I even understood what a hook was. And I think I had like 14 followers. 300 videos, 14 subscribers, folks. Yeehaw. It's terrible. It's awful. Okay. Talk about a waste of time. No, it's a learning opportunity, right? Learning opportunity. But I get to teach it to you and I get to tell you how important it is That's why it took me 300 videos to realize this, okay? But that hook, how are you grabbing someone? How are you grabbing their attention? Um, what I'm gonna do for this, because we've only got a few more minutes, I'll grab everybody's email. I'm gonna send you examples of hooks, okay? There's different categories, there's different ways, strategic ways to do this. And then you can take these hooks and you can use ChatGPT and you can make them your own and make them, consistent with your content. But these are going to be different strategies around hooks. Okay. So does anybody have any questions around hooks? Does that sound pretty straightforward? Like we need to grab their attention. We need to hook them in. We need to focus on everything we're doing from a visibility standpoint and make sure we're looking at the hook. Don't do a Jim Morris. Don't post 300 videos on YouTube and get 13 subscribers because your hook sucks on every video. Okay. I wasted a lot of money, but I learned a lot of lessons. Questions on hook? Hooks be sent to all attendees. Yes, sir. If you signed up for this, Brock will get me a list. I'm going to send you a nice, cute, sexy email with some information as a follow-up. Folks, my goal, when I do this once a month with y'all, is to really get you the tools to take action, right? Like I want to talk about the concept. I want to offer opportunity for questions. I want to go back and forth with y'all. But that follow-up email, that recap email that you're going to get from Jim Morris, check your spam because it's going to be jam-packed with some info and exactly what to do after these trainings. All right, so we talked about hooks. Hooks, very, very, very important. We really need to focus on that. I talked about the second thing we're going to talk about is the one-to-many strategy. If you were on the last call that I did, I talked about the one-to-many strategy. I talked about cross-pollination and borrowing audiences, right? We did that gratitude challenge, that what I learned challenge. I asked everybody to put day 1, day 2, do it for 30 days, post a video, post a photo of someone that taught you something, and collaborate with them and tag them so it goes on their page and that your brand, your account is now visible to their audience. Okay? Does that make sense? If you weren't here, let me know. If you have a question, let me know for that training. But ultimately, we want to borrow someone else's audience. So, for instance, I am one person and Brock is one person. Well, Brock has many people that follow him. Brock has an audience, right? This is Brock's show. He's been doing this for several years, right? You're part of Brock's audience. You're part of his following. You're part of his ecosystem. If I do an event or if I do a webinar or if I do a speaking engagement with Brock, okay, I'm going to one person, which is Brock, and I'm reaching many because Brock's audience is what I'm tapping into, okay? So that's the one-to-many strategy. That's the best way to gain attention. And as I shared it in the last training, that's how Alex Hormozi sold $100 million in books and broke Guinness World Records. He went and borrowed everybody's audience, and then he incentivized them on what he would give them or work with them or help them or make introductions. Like he did a bunch of different deals with people to borrow their audience rather than him going out and trying to attract everybody to his brand. He leveraged people who already had big audiences and big brands. That's how he broke Guinness Book World Records. Like this just happened a month ago or a few weeks ago. We can learn from this, okay? So you want to use the one-to-many strategy. You want to go to one person who has an audience of many, and you want to collaborate, and then you want to capture that social media content, and you want to disperse it, and you want to tag them, and you want them to comment and things like that. The other piece is repurposing your content. And when I say repurposing, a lot of clients come to me and they're like, Jim, I'm repurposing my social media content. I'm repurposing my emails. I'm doing what I'm supposed to, but it's not working. I'm not getting any conversion, no engagement, right? Those things that we talked about that are really important in that attention audit. They're showing up, they're consistent, they're not getting the engagement, they're not getting the conversion. Well, why? Because you can't take a piece of content shot for Instagram and post it on LinkedIn and expect the same result. So when I say you want to repurpose your content, If you shot a video and you were talking about real estate, you were talking about this zip code, you were talking about how you did X, Y, and Z on negotiation, and you post the same exact video on LinkedIn, that's great. But what are you changing towards the platform that makes it easier to digest with what that person and how that person wants to digest it on that platform? So for instance, if someone's going to YouTube, they want to get educated probably, or they want entertainment, right? So if they're going to get educated and you post something that isn't really educational, but the title is, well, you're not going to get engagement. You're not going to, there's not alignment there. Okay. But if you took that and you posted it on Facebook, where a lot of friends and family are, and maybe they engaged with it and it blew up on Facebook, well, how are you going to change the copy or change the text overlay and write it differently on LinkedIn? So yes, you should repurpose content, but you've got to do it in a strategic way rather than spraying and praying. Okay. You'll often hear me say, quit spraying and praying, which means quit throwing shit up there with no strategy, no cohesiveness, not the right copy, not positioned correctly on the platform, and then praying that you're going to get leads. People are going to call you up and say, I saw this amazing video that got 17 views, and I want you to sell me a house. You're living in fairy tale land. I wish that was the case. I would love that. When I was in, real estate pretty heavily as an agent, maybe, that might have worked, but it definitely doesn't work today. Okay. That repurposing content, if you have any questions on that stuff, just send me an email, send me a text. Like if you have
Jay,
an
could you
idea
put
or you're
his
trying
stuff
to
in the chat?
repurpose it, let me know.
Jay, put his stuff in the chat so that way people can also proactively reach out to him too.
Oh yeah. My info, you're saying?
Yeah, Jay will put it in the chat so that way people can be proactive today,
Cool.
just because of our timing.
And then last thing I just want to wrap up with everybody is that conversion piece. When you are sending your emails, when you are on your social media, how are you converting? Okay. So is your offer clear? Like, do I know what you do and what I can buy right now on your social media? One of the biggest problems I see with a lot of my clients, especially my consulting clients, is I go to their page and I'm like, how do I hire you? How do I work with you? Why is this so hard? If you're a real estate agent and I can't find your cell phone number and you're hiring me as a consultant, that we have a huge problem, right? Um, it's that simple, folks. Your offer should be clear and simple. And then the other thing is your lead magnet. Um, give value to people. And I'm going to land here. Give value to people. Okay. For instance, if you reach out to me today and we connect, we jump on a call and we talk, right? I have my Impact Effect Accelerator program with a ton of training in it. Maybe it helps you. Maybe it impacts you. Maybe you need some help with social media. Maybe you need some help with funnels and landing pages. Maybe you need some help with automations, right? I got you on all that. But if we have a conversation, my follow-up isn't going to be, hey, Eric, hey, John, hey, Paul, hey, Kim, hey, Mike, hey, Rosario, hey, Stephanie, hey, Lee, I had a great conversation. Would you like to work with me? Here's my rate sheet. Here's what one-on-one costs. Here's what this costs. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to send you a valuable lead magnet and give you value for free. So if we connect, we jump on a call. Yes, I want to work with you. If there's a good fit, there's alignment, right? But that next email after we meet isn't going to be to pitch you. It's going to be to give you value, value. Let me give you a training on my Now Money training, right? Me and Brock are doing an event this month collaborating on this concept called Now Money, right? I've given this to someone in this group previously. Let me give you my training on AI that I just did. How to use AI photos, how to change out backgrounds, how to set up tasks and updates, right? I posted that on my Facebook. Several people in this group messaged me. We sent them the direct link. No funnel, guys. I'm not selling you anything. I just want to give you value. Here's the video. Here's the link. Let me know what you think. So that's what I want to end the plane on, is that conversion piece. Please do your attention audit. Please understand that attention is the new currency. And when you hear me say this, folks, I'm not talking about being an influencer. I'm not talking about getting on and having your face everywhere. I'm just talking about loving on your people, right? Be visible. Love on them, reach out to them, connect with them, be as visible as you possibly can, and your opportunities will blow up, your attention will blow up, your relationships will grow, your sales will increase, and ultimately, you're going to be doing more, helping more, and impacting more people. So that's what I got for y'all. If any of this didn't make sense, if you have any confusion, concerns, just reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. I'm here to help.
Jim, that high eye, buddy, that high eye, you get all riled up just like Chad. I was like, I gotta reel this guy in over here. He just keeps on going. And Rachel warned me about you about that type of stuff. Guys, put a 5 in the chat. Put a 5 in the chat. If you got something out of today for Jim, put a 5 in the chat. If you got something out of here from Jim, I'm gonna challenge you when they're done with the 5s to put your cell phone number in there or any number you're willing to give so people can personally text you. I find that emailing and DMing and everything else, but when it comes down to it, everybody just likes to text. They just like text people. Just it's easier, it's faster, and I feel like I can get there. As well as receiving text, it's just easier for us to respond to. So if you want to reach out to Jim, you have a conversation with him, you want to explore more, Jim, put your email in the chat so that way they can reach out to you right away because the juices are flowing. Guys, I appreciate Jim being on here. I appreciate you all being on here. Spend a little extra time with us on this Wednesday, this hump day today. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8:15 Eastern time. If you know somebody that needs to be part of this group, invite them. Please do. If you want more of these recordings, this information, always go to the Brock Zevans Mindset Motivational Facebook page, as well as you can go to my YouTube page. You can check us all out, as well as Jim's information on there as well. Guys, appreciate you. Derek Green will be with us tomorrow at 8:15. Jim, appreciate you, brother.
Thanks,
See ya.
y'all. Have a great day.